Israeli-American hostage Edan Alexander, who is believed to be the last living captive with US nationality in Gaza, as a part of efforts to reach a ceasefire agreement. The decision comes ahead of President Donald Trump's visit to the Middle East on Tuesday. Hamas said it was also intended to facilitate a deal for the entry of humanitarian aid to Gaza. Gaza has been under an Israeli blockade for 70 days. Donald Trump celebrated the announcement of Edan's release in a Truth Social post. He said that it's a monumental news break. Born in Tel Aviv but raised in New Jersey, 21-year-old Alexander was serving in an elite infantry unit on the border with Gaza when he was captured by Hamas terrorists during the October 7th attack. Of the 251 hostages taken during Hamas's 2023 attack, 59 remain in the enclave, up to 24 of whom are believed to be still alive. 5 of the hostages in Gaza are believed to be US citizens, and Alexander was thought to be the only one still living. The Israeli Prime Minister's office earlier said that it had been informed by the US of the Hamas intention to release Alexander, quote unquote, as a gesture towards the Americans, and that the move was expected to lead to negotiations on further hostages. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said that the release of a US-Israeli hostage announced by Hamas would not lead to a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip or the release of Palestinian prisoners. We are now joined by Madhav Nalaput, from the editor from the Sunday Guardian, located in New Delhi. Thank you very much, Professor Nalaput, for joining us on the program. There's only one American left thought to be alive, and that is Edan Alexander, the man who is thought to be getting release. How does the IDF balance rescue efforts with the stated goal of eliminating Hamas? Obviously, since conflict has reignited again in March, Edan Alexander would be the first hostage to be released since the resumption of this conflict.
Well, look, the point is that Netanyahu is not going to let go of the gas pedal, because he would like to ensure that this threat is eliminated once and for all. And the point is that it's a very high-value target, very high-value hostage, a very high-value swap, and a card to play, because he's a US citizen. So this is a big feather in the cap for President Trump. And President Trump is looking for more feathers. He's not got a very popular rating in the US right now. His tariffs and the way he's cutting jobs left and right is basically harming him politically. So this would be a win for him, and that's important. As for Israel, why are they agreeing to this? Because America is important to them. I mean, frankly, they need America. They may not need America in fighting, but they need America in equipping and in being there as a strong backstop to their efforts. So for that reason, I think Netanyahu agreed to this swap. And now it's a win for Donald Trump. It's a win for humanity, frankly. And it's a gesture by Netanyahu to the United States, led by President Trump, which fluctuates, frankly, from support to ambiguity, where Trump is concerned and where Netanyahu is concerned. So I think all in all, I'm very glad, for the sake of humanity, that this hostage also has been released. And I think, frankly, as a goodwill gesture, more hostages should be released. And frankly, Hamas should realize it has no future as a military organization. So it should voluntarily disarm itself and function as a political party. And possibly it will do very well in elections. So I think that's the best way forward for the sake of humanity, and especially sparing the people of Gaza any more pain than have already been inflicted by them during this very terrible war.
Professor Madhav Nalaput, there's been 10 weeks of this blockade now by Israel. UN humanitarian agencies have said that it's leading to a famine. Risk of disease is rising in Gaza. Does this indication of the blockade still serve Israel's security aims?
Well, go back to October 7th, 2 years ago, and you'll see precisely why Israel is very active about its security. The Jewish people have the imprint of the Holocaust on each and every one of them, no matter how old or how young, and they're determined never to let another Holocaust happen. This particular terror operation, October 7, I think the Hamas misjudged and thought a number of hostages that it took would protect it from Israeli fury. That did not happen for a simple reason that Israel is now determined to protect itself, and what it's determined to do is to eliminate the military wing of Hamas. So until that is completed, I don't believe Netanyahu will complete his operation. But as I said, I don't think Hamas has any chance against Israel. But most importantly, the terrible collateral damage will be suffered by the people of Gaza through no fault of their own. So I think overall, in the interest of humanity, if Hamas voluntarily disarms and understands this as this is not a time for war, it's a time for peace, understands that and voluntarily disarms, then I think the international community, led by the United States, is going to make sure that it can function effectively. Because honestly, Josh, let's be honest, terror is a problem for everybody. And terror anywhere could be a problem tomorrow in some other place. It's a problem everywhere. So from that point of view, I think Netanyahu is completely set on destroying the military wing of Hamas. But this is a gesture not so much to Hamas, but to Donald Trump. And I think it's a gesture that will really enhance the political standing of Donald Trump, getting an American hostage back. I think those visuals, I'm sure somebody will receive him at the airport and there'll be a huge amount of publicity. I think that will be very welcome to Trump. But above all, I think humanity will be well served if this conflict is ended. And the only way it can be ended is if Hamas voluntarily disarms and you have the international community telling Hamas, look here, you'll be allowed to function as a political entity, but please release all the remaining hostages. And the sad truth is many are dead, at least, and some are alive or sadly no longer alive, but please release all of them. And I think that will be the best solution from the point of view of the world and humanity. This war has gone on so long, it's inflicted so much of damage, and frankly, it's been a terrible human cost by the people of Gaza for this war, for something which almost very few of them bear any kind of responsibility for.
Professor Madhav Nalaput, thank you very much for joining us. Always valuable to have your insight on the program.